I was like, I had to remember if it was, I don't know why. I got the title mixed up in my brain. All right, Rachel Dusa, take one, LA Year One. Decided to move down to Los Angeles to go somewhere where I could get some semblance of space. I was previously living in San Francisco, where I went to college for cinematography. I was super broke when I graduated college, as many of my friends know, and I was dating someone at the time who was also willing to move down to Los Angeles. So we both moved down to LA together. We were sharing a studio apartment, and we were also sharing this 1996 Toyota Corolla beater that I had picked up for very little money to get around to some of our first jobs, which were almost always unpaid. The first 6 months, I would say, were definitely the worst of the struggle. I feel like Los Angeles it's a hard place to be poor. And just because I was working jobs that were not paying in the beginning and trying to survive on as little as possible, that meant not going out at all. And I feel like I didn't get to see a lot of Los Angeles the first 6 months that I lived here just because I was trying to live. But the 6 months after that, once I did start getting these very meagerly paying jobs and I did start to get to explore Los Angeles, I was extremely impressed by how many different lifestyles were coexisting and how many different neighborhoods were combined and next to each other, and how you could go from one to the other and get a completely different vibe. It seemed like a place with so many possibilities, and it just kind of clicked to me why people like Los Angeles so much. The first big job that I ever landed out here was interning on this huge union movie called Nina. I basically worked for 3 weeks without being paid at all. But the contacts that I made off of that job, admittedly, are some of my strongest contacts to this day. I still work with those people, so somehow I guess that one worked out. After that, I had proven myself to a point where I was starting to get these very small paying jobs, and I felt like, okay, I'm picking things up, I'm making somewhat of a living for myself, getting by just by the right amount. And around that time is when I actually started having some really serious health issues, and I was having to go to the emergency room every single month because I was in debilitating pain. And it came to light that I have severe GERD and gastritis and was dealing with severe stomach issues. Then a little bit after that, I ended up injuring my knee at work. And then a little bit after that, a woman ended up completely sideswiping my car while I was driving to work one day, and I ended up with a severe concussion and had to take about a month off of work in order to heal and deal with it. And still haven't seen a penny from that accident, but with all of these events combined, I feel like my faith in LA was really tested, and I honestly had to really contemplate if I was going to be able to stay here, both financially and mentally, and just with the opportunities that I was seeing. But I decided to struggle it out and keep working and to try my best to keep going, and it somehow ended up trickling into better and better jobs and making more of a living. Luckily, a lot of my friends from college came down to Los Angeles for the same career path, so I've been able to stay in contact with a lot of them. Good old Skylar included here, and they came down to LA for the same exact career path. So naturally, we stayed together, we networked together, we tried to get jobs together, and we honestly pretty much built each other up, or helped to at least. And ultimately glad that I ended up staying in Los Angeles. I definitely had some trials and tribulations in the beginning, but it seemed to work out. I still have the friends that I had back then, and they've all been amazing. I get to work on some really amazing projects now, and I don't know that I would have gotten any opportunities like that if I didn't stick it out.
Perfect. I think that's perfect. How you feeling?
I think I did alright. I'm like trying to remember what I said.